Hello, I'm MBX and welcome back to videos. Then we're showing you how to do something rather amazing on the brand new version of Minecraft, and that is to have a world which is entirely void. That's right, nothing but just endless void in every direction. So if you want to have a pure blank slate to build on, or you just think this is cool to check out, like that's the reason I'm doing it, then hopefully you do enjoy this video where I show you exactly how to get this thing, which is coming from later on this video, but I'm going to be showing you how to get to exactly here, step by step, from having the old console version. So like this video if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, and listen, you do like the step-by-step tutorials on weird, wacky stuff like this. I want to see more like it in the future. I want to quickly start by clarifying this came in from Rob Cat. Big thank to him for sending it to me. He said, like, you like wacky weird things, and I do like wacky weird things, and maybe all of you do as well. So let's show you how to do this, because again, this is from later on the video. I'm taking a clip from there now. It's confusing, just editing is the magic of the internet, but let's show you exactly how you want to do this. So you want to start a brand new world on the new console version of Minecraft. You can call it whatever you want. We're going to call it 5 for today, because that's a nice, easy, rememberable name. And you want to go ahead and you want to make a custom super flat. The reason this only works when you have both console versions is because custom super flats are not possible in the brand new version yet. At some point in the future they will be, but not until then. And until then you have to use the old custom super flat, and you want to go in there and you want to remove everything you can, and you especially want to remove every single block that is not bedrock. It'd be a lot easier if we could just like remove even bedrock, but you can't actually do that. If you want to go ahead and remove your bedrock, it'll just tell you like, nope, can't do that, must replace with something else. So given that we can't remove the bedrock, we just remove everything above the bedrock, and we end up with this one layer of blocks that just cannot be broken no matter what. So yeah, pick a world size if you want. We'll pick medium just to prove a point, but still it doesn't really matter anything beyond that. And then everything else isn't really too important because we're just using this world to transfer over. So you want to create this world at least once. You want to just hop in there, because if you don't create the world you can't transfer it, and you don't want to do anything in this world. You're just creating it for the sake of it existing, and as soon as you can you hop to the exit menu. Again, the longer you stay in here, the more chunks load in, the less world you actually have transferring over. So just immediately hop out of that world, and now we've got ourselves our transfer world to the new version. So basically the way this works, if you're curious, is the bedrock on the old version is unbreakable. If you've ever tried to break the Minecraft Xbox Edition bedrock, it doesn't break because there is no void below there. That layer of bedrock is essentially the void, and I'm assuming because of a programming error or because of a weird communication error between the two versions, that bedrock layer, even though it generates as bedrock first, the layers that we've already seen have generated bedrock, I think that the instructions for it to continue has been set to actually generate as even though the instructions have been sent there, the instructions clearly generate as void instead, because void and this bottom layer of bedrock are clearly very, very similar things. Again, that bottom layer of bedrock is different to all other bedrock in your world, and therefore I believe that, what should be a layer of bedrock is just a layer of nothingness, and if you only have a layer of nothingness with nothing on top of it, guess what? That's infinite nothingness. So yeah, what you want to do, now you've created your world on the old Xbox version, you want to go down to your, again, you want to go all the way to the bottom here, sync your old world, you want to find that old world you just made. Ours is called 5, so it should be pretty easy to find, I think. And yeah, once we find 5, then you want to do a couple of things first before you load it up, because otherwise you won't be able to like properly experience it. So we'll take 5, we'll transfer it over. It's really weird actually, even though this is a world we hopped into for literally 2 seconds and it's just bedrock. It is the least information you'd figure a world can hold. It's still a megabyte sized world, and it still takes something like 10 seconds to transfer, when all it's literally transferring is like, oh yeah, there's like 200 bedrock maybe. And I find that fascinating. It's like a quirk in the world conversion thing, and it also shows that maybe like there's something else at play here with this world that's causing it to be like this. Maybe the instructions are really complex and like really complicated, and that's what causing the bug, because you can see it transfers over and it's 9.4 megabytes, again, for a world that is purely just about like a few thousand bedrock. So yeah, you want to also quickly go in here, because a few things won't be enabled by default, including cheats and including coordinates. You're going to want both those things, because that will allow you to turn it into something even better, because once you've got your nothing but bedrock world, you can load it up and you're going to see something very interesting happen. So the spawn chunks around you, the chunks you loaded in and were able to see from your spawn, they're going to appear like they're bedrock, because you already loaded them in and they're already bedrock. Even though it's a different type of bedrock now, you can break it like you couldn't before. It is still just bedrock, but anything beyond that, if we just go like a few blocks in this direction to the point where our render distance previously was, so or at least what we rendered in before, then you'll see that well before the normal border of the world, again, a medium-sized world is 2,560 blocks. So instead of that, we have 148 blocks. The bedrock stops, and although the instructions were clearly sent here, it can't generate beyond that. So it just goes, oh yeah, I guess nothing generates here. So it's generating the void blocks here, I do believe, and that means you get nothing but void beyond this bedrock, which is pretty darn wacky, right? So yeah, as you can see, forgot to also make sure you turn the game invite only, because it's not the default on this version. But yeah, basically, once you've done that, then you'll have this big square around you, and this big square is going to be filled with bedrock, which you know, that might be your thing, that might not be your thing, but either way, you're going to have this big square of bedrock, but anything beyond that is going to be pure nothingness, and I think there's a few purposes for this. The first one, the big one in my opinion, is that you can use this as an opportunity to start from scratch if you really want to. I really should leave the game on invite only. You can start from scratch if you want to, so I'm going to quickly mute this. But yeah, basically you can start the game from scratch if that's what you're into. So you can just kind of like, if all you have to do is look, if we sprint this direction, only, you know, like 300 blocks or so, just outside our end distance, then all of the old world that we previously see is gone. And as far as we can tell, and if you start a map here, as far as anyone can tell, there's nothingness here. It's just pure void, right? Which is really scary to look at. There's something like weird about just being in the middle of nowhere. But also what I think is kind of interesting is you can remove most of the bedrock, or you can start a custom map here, or you can build from scratch here. And given that there is no options to do this, even if you wanted to take an existing world and destroy it, you have to destroy every chunk one by one. This is the only way to get a world, you know, legit without downloading worlds or anything, that actually is blank and that you can actually start with a blank slate from. So if you want to build Minecraft maps, because again, on this new version, you actually can make money if you're really good at it. Basically, if you want to start making maps, if you want to start doing this stuff, then the way you do that is you use the bedrock superflat, like I've just shown you right here. So again, this is something I think is wonderful, and I'd love to see any of the things you build with it if you do so. Like maybe you want to make a Skywars map, maybe you want to make something crazier than that. Again, there's just a bunch of different possibilities. The Skywars thing is the first thing that popped in my mind, because I like Skywars a lot, and it's like, oh yeah, because as soon as you go down here, then you can see, you drop into the void. In creative, you just drop down to here, but still, you can, you know, like, you can make it so people drop into the void instead of just onto bedrock. You can basically guarantee death and guarantee items won't come back, and given that all of this is destroyable, you can get an even smaller layer of bedrock. And as a fun little fact, if you really want nothing but pure void, because if you think like, you know what, so I like that I can go into the sunset and see nothing before, but it annoys me that when people join my world, they'll still see the bedrock, and it might give away how I did it, or like, it's not pure void, because for some reason, all you want in your world is nothingness. Well, first of all, I'd recommend leaving at least one bedrock no matter what you do, because otherwise you need cheats to place new blocks. Like, if you don't do that, then, because imagine if you had no bedrock here, you wouldn't be able to place blocks, because the only way you place blocks in Minecraft, in default creative, is placing them on the side of something. So if you want to have any blocks on the outside of this, make sure you place at least one here, and then destroy the blocks around that. So again, make sure you do this, that's a fun thing. But, you know, because then you actually have one block to build off. But second of all, what I'm going to recommend is that if you're going to be doing this, then, yeah, use the /fill command and use air blocks, and you can remove this whole thing very quickly. Because all you have to do is do something like oh, okay, that's terrible. Just do /fill, and then do from, like, 0, 0, 0 to, like, I don't know, 100, 100, actually, like just 102, and then 100. And then you're replace it with air. So yeah, it's filling the area with air, and that's going to replace your bedrock, and you're going to end up with even... Oh, a little bit of lag there. Might have crashed the game, in fact. Oh, but as you can see, you can remove a giant chunk of it like that, and if you just do the entire thing all at once, you can end up with nothingness. Or you could do it just destroy giant chunks of it like this, because this is even more fascinating, right? Just there's a gap in the tiny bit of space I do have here. And again, if you like the idea of this, then that's a cool thing. Let me know you're gonna do it in the comments down below. If you really liked it, make sure you share the video. And if you like seeing these videos daily on the homepage, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you can see these videos with notifications every single time I upload, which is twice a day right now if you don't know. And you'll see videos like this, so you can do weird stuff like this and even more based on stuff like that. So again, I really love this personally. Oh, also, this will give you performance increases because there's literally no blocks to load in. So if Minecraft's just not working for you, then try having nothing in your world. It might increase your performance. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, and I guess I'll see you all in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.